So, hello and welcome to the 12 noon live. The India-England T20I series begins today, and it will be kind of a challenge for Shreyas Iyer after suffering a whitewash against Ireland in what was his first series as the T20I captain of the Indian team. And of course, a lot of things to talk about as far as the team composition is concerned. What everyone is asking right now, whether Vaibhav Sooryavanshi will make his debut or not. What about Varun Chakravarthy? He was seen with the squad. He has been practicing with the squad in Durham with the team. So will he get a look into the playing 11 after the spinners also had a disappointing series against Ireland? And of course, what could be the combination, the playing combination in the first T20I? England are set to rest a few players after their last test against New Zealand completed a couple of days ago. So for England, a few players like Jofra Archer will be missing from the playing 11. But as far as the Indian team is concerned, a lot of selection headache for the team management and the team composition will be in focus. I'll start with Bharat. Bharat, the same question which everyone is asking right now. Vaibhav Sooryavanshi, where do you see it? There is a polarizing opinion around it. Some are saying let him get some time within the team ecosystem so that he gets accustomed to how the Indian team operates, and the others are saying that let it be. He's a world class talent. He's a prodigal talent. Give him the chance and don't waste him on the bench. Where are you in this debate?
Oh, let me start that with what Mr. Rahul Dravid said during the unveiling of the Maharaja Trophy a couple of weeks back. He was
Mhm.
here at the Chinnaswamy Stadium to unveil the trophy, and that is when someone in Canada asked a question. Obviously, that everyone wants to be Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. Every kid wants to be Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. How do you look at it? And Rahul Dravid basically said in Canada, answered in Canada that he's the kind of player that you get once in 30, 40 years. He smiled and laughed and said, so let the kids who are growing up, let them play their own game because this kid is normal, not normal. He's someone, maybe after Sachin Tendulkar, you were seeing that kind of prodigy coming through. Obviously, different kind of player, but that kind of prodigy coming
Mm.
through. I think that gives us the answer that if someone like Vaibhav Sooryavanshi is around, then if there is no place, create a place for him and pick him in the 11. This actually Ireland series was an ideal tour because it was a low profile series. That was the tour where Vaibhav Sooryavanshi should have played one game. They could have easily rotated the players out there. It's really tougher to do that in the England series. More eyeballs will be there watching these matches, but they can still do it. Maybe give the chances for Samson and Abhishek Sharma in the first two games, and at least give a couple of matches for Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. But he definitely should play in this particular series when you have played like him. I think it's the most dangerous T20 batter going around, in my humble opinion. I go back that particular shot that he played against Kagiso Rabada in the 2026 IPL. That 153 kilometers per hour delivery, hard lengths, angled away. You simply can't hit it over the bowler's head. No one can do it. Maybe one out of 100 players can do it, and it turned out to be that one particular player. If you can do that to that particular ball, then it would leave you discombobulated in your head, full of confusion. So when you are played like that, you have to play. Maybe not in the first game, but definitely in this series, I would like to see Vaibhav Sooryavanshi at least getting a couple of chances because at some point of time, England are also going to pick Jofra Archer and Joe Stong in this series when they get back from the rest, respective. At present, they are rested. And yes, that would be good contest. That would be good test for Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. Pretty sure he would come through it as well. Just pick him. If there is no place, just create a place for him.
Vaibhav, where do you stand in this debate? Debut or no debut?
See, debut though in Ireland series only I said कि Ireland series provides you an ideal opportunity to ease him into international cricket because again, like Bharat said, it was their two series against a low profile team. You could have easily eased into the playing conditions of playing at top level. The senior cricket was different, so that was ideal. You could have done that again. There is a thing that Sitanshu Kotak said, which Shreyas Iyer repeated, and Ryan Tendashkate that it would be unfair. But see, you don't have to see what a Samson can do, what an Abhishek Sharma or what an Ishan Kishan can do. These are your proven performers. Now you have a potential sitting on the bench who has earned his place through brilliant performances in the IPL. So now you have, if you are starting a new cycle under a new captain, you have to look at a new pool of players, because now you are developing a new pool of players for looking at the 2028 T20 World Cup and the Olympic Games. So when you have already selected those 30 players, okay, for Olympics, then you have to see that, okay, one player that is there is Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. We know that he has potential, but unless and until you don't play him, there is no point in keeping him or making him travel with the squad. I asked the similar question to Rohit Juglan, who is there in Durham for this game. He was there for Ireland series as well. I asked the same question to him, that is there a sense of thinking that let's just give him one series, let's not play him, let's just keep him in the team environment so that he gets comfort around that. So he said, what, why? His point was, why to just make him sit on the bench? He's been part of the team, he's been traveling with the A squad, so he is not new to this environment. Okay, yes, the coaching staff is different, his colleagues may be different, but it's not, Vaibhav Sooryavanshi is not no different, no newbie. He's not newbie to in this kind of environment. He has played in IPL. He's played in front of big crowds. So he has played in pressure situations. Just look at his knocks in the knockouts in big matches. So he has performed. So again, the question comes down to, he's ready. The question is team management ready to play him? I don't now. There was an argument that who will you sit out? Now, after the Ireland series, you have couple of failures from Sanju Samson. You have couple of failures from Ishan Kishan. Obviously, you cannot drop a Shreyas Iyer. So now you have to take a call. One of these will be dropped, because one of these should be dropped. I'm not saying will be dropped, should be dropped, because one wicket keeper batter will play, has to play, and these are your two wicket keeper batters. So I think ideally for me, I said this during Ireland series as well, that it should be Sanju Samson making way for Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. You shouldn't drop a Abhishek Sharma. Ishan Kishan, I think, is a better player in bowling friendly pitches than Sanju Samson. Sanju Samson got exposed during IPL as well against top quality bowling, against bowling in bowling friendly conditions. He got exposed in IPL as well. People will say 200s, but just look at, he has performed only against two teams. Those two teams didn't even qualify for the playoffs. So you have to look at that as well when you are saying Sanju Samson performed. He performed, but against the teams that didn't qualify for the playoffs and on flat wickets. On tricky conditions, Sanju Samson's game was found out. So you have to keep that in mind. So I think it should be Sanju Samson making way for Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. I don't think there is anything to debate on this, especially given the recent failures of Sanju Samson and the way he got out. He got out twice, similar way to Jay Mundra, targeting the stumps. It could be Luke Wood. Luke Wood is playing today's match. It could be Luke Wood. Luke Wood has the ability to swing the ball both ways. He can also do that. So I think
Sakib
now
Mahmood is also there. Sakib Mahmood is also a very
Saqib
good
Mahmood, yes,
player.
Saqib Mahmood is also there. But Luke Wood, again, the left arm angle will trouble him. It has troubled him in the IPL as well. So I think it's very clear. It's now for Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. It should not be, let's wait for another game or let's wait for another couple of games.
Srishti, where are you in this debate?
Uh, I would agree with both Bharat and Vaibhav because Ireland was a team against whom you could have tested him, but again now you have lost. There and there is few of the doubts. Like obviously England is a better team than Ireland. I think there is no comparison in between Ireland and England, and you would want to win this particular series. So yeah, now you are in a trouble because if earlier you would have given him chances, yeah, that was a slow pitch, bowling friendly pitch or whatsoever. I agree with that thing. But again, the thing is that you have to test a new player or a newbie in those conditions because the other players were a bit of struggling in that particular conditions. And now against England, again, people are assuming there would be flat tracks and this, that. But now this series is kind of like we can say do or die kind of because you just lost a series after 16 consecutive wins. Everybody, every Indian cricket fan, they are waiting for India to win this particular series against England. Now, whether you take that risk or not, whether you think that, yeah, we have to take some experienced players ahead or whatsoever. But according to me, I really feel that in the first match itself, today itself, they should give the debut cap to Vaibhav Sooryavanshi in order to groom him, make him ready for the Asian Games, and in order to make him a player who could serve Indian team for a longer period of time. Because again, if you think like, oh, we need experience here, we just lost the series. then at this rate you will waste a particular talent which is there sitting on the bench, and yeah, people are waiting for him to play.
Bharat, is this wasting a talent if he's not playing, or is it protecting a kid who can be exposed to social media? You know how it is. People will say why not play him, and as soon as he fails, a player fails, they will jump on him and say, oh, he's just a slogger. He can only play in the IPL flat again, and trolling. You know the level of trolling which can happen to these Indian players. Is the Indian team trying to protect Vaibhav Sooryavanshi rather than throw him out in the middle and give him that go?
Oh, social media platforms, it would be there in 2026, it would be there in 2036, it would be there in 2031 as well. So, for how long can you predict him? And it looks like Vaibhav Sooryavanshi is not the kind of cricketer who will think too much about the outside noise. And he's the kind of cricketer, if you go and say something about him, if you troll something about him, if he notices it, then it looks like he would give you a fitting repost with a 50 or 100 in the next game. Sri Lanka under 19 Sri Lanka cricketers tried that with Vaibhav Sooryavanshi, provoked him. Perhaps a few of them were jealous. Who knows what exactly was the reason why they sledged him, trolled him so much, and in the next game he went on to score 94 or 29 balls. So there's not. I don't think there's much to worry when it comes to someone like Sooryavanshi. He looks like yes, he's just 15, but he seems to have that kind of maturity where all this outside noise, I don't think it really affects him. So in my humble opinion, someone who has faced the best of fast bowlers, someone who smashed Kagiso Rabada like that. I have heard that he's also smashed Jofra Archer somewhere in the net sessions as well. When someone has done that, then there's not much to worry. As far as T20 cricket is concerned, I'm not saying somewhere in Test cricket, 3 4 years down the line, he's going to score this many runs, that many runs. But in T20 cricket, I think it's the most dangerous batter going around. Looking at what he did in the world of IPL, looking at what he did in that under 19 World Cup final, especially that hard line ball that he smashed off Alex Green. Again, it left me confused. So all these strokes tell you that I think he believes in his talent. So I don't think outside noise would really affect him. And as you know, social media platforms would be there next year, the next year in 2029, 2030. So for how long can you protect him? So that's my answer to that question.
And also, Bharat, what are your thoughts on Sanju Samson? I mean, yes, he was the player of the tournament in the T20 World Cup those last three innings. But if you look at his scores before that, after that, it has been a very shaky ride for Sanju Samson, the batter. I'm not talking about him as a wicket keeper or him as an experienced player, but just as a pure batter. It has been a very shaky ride, and if you take out those, of course, taking out those three knocks in the World Cup would be really unfair. But if you just keep those knocks aside, yes, he has been a struggling customer in that top of the order, or in the middle order if you count the Asia Cup as well.
Oh, Sanju Samson, perhaps one has to think for a while what to say because because a kind of huge fan following it.
Scared
Anyway,
of
leaving aside,
trolling.
leaving aside,
He will be under pressure. He will be under pressure.
see, leaving aside that particular jokes, he is a very fluent shot maker. He's someone who plays on the rise, plays on the up. But yes, just like some other modern day, quintessential modern day Indian batters or batters from other countries as well, he has problems when the ball moves around, when it's a sticky wicket, two pace track. And that is what basically happened in that Island series, I guess. He just goes back to that same point that he comes from a particular school where his back foot somewhere is leg lined or outside the line of leg stump when he's batting. If you notice, if some batter in the 90s or 80s or 2000s, even 2000s, had played like that, then the coach would have definitely gone after that particular player. But a lot of modern day batters are playing that way. Something similar you can say about Abhishek Sharma or Shreyas Iyer. Though in the last game, he tried to move across towards off stump, and Sanju Samson is something similar. That is why I guess he's having those problems when deliveries are not just ball on stumps, but even deliveries that are somewhere slightly outside of where he's trying to drive. The front foot is not towards the pitch of the ball, and he gets caught behind. So he has issues against the moving ball. He has issues against on tracks that are too paced, and that is where I think the problems have come. Even when he's played for Chennai Super Kings on tracks that do a bit, he has had those issues against some decent new ball bowlers, and that is what we basically saw against Ireland, where they had a very decent left arm pace bowler, and again he had those issues. But I guess on tracks on somewhere in England, you would get good tracks for batting, mostly good tracks for batting, unless there's a lot of rain, some moisture around. So I expect him to do well, but I don't know how it will be somewhere in Australia. The next T20 World Cup, obviously, it's still somewhere maybe many months away from that particular T20 World Cup, but still, the tracks in Australia have been doing a little bit in the recent past. You saw even the 2022 T20 World Cup did a bit. Even in ODIs, we are seeing tracks doing quite a bit. So in that sense, I'm not very sure how he would go in those conditions. But in this series, I am expecting flat tracks, and he should do well.
Vaibhav, what are your thoughts? Will Sanju Samson be under pressure now? Because there's a huge pressure bubble being created around Vaibhav Sooryavanshi, and of course the team management will be also wanting to play him at some point during this series.
See, definitely he'll be under pressure because Sanju Samson's whole career, international career, if you'll see, has been marked with one word. He's been labeled as very inconsistent. Yes, he has given match-winning performances. Yes, we remember last year, him scoring a lot of hundreds. Everything is fine, but if you look at obviously in T20 cricket, it's tough to maintain the consistency. Even if you look at Abhishek Sharma, player like Abhishek Sharma, the world #1 T20I batter, he's not averaging 40 plus. But what he's doing is his 35 plus average is more than good enough, and also 190 plus strike rate. But with Sanju Samson, there's a pattern. The problem is the pattern in which he is getting out. If you look at the start of the IPL first match against Rajasthan Royals, Nandre Burger, he was castled. And then whenever Xavier Bartlett, he didn't had a great IPL, but he got Sanju Samson's edge in Chepauk. Again when CSK Punjab game was happening. So hint of movement, he gets caught on the crease. Is what my observation. He's primarily a back foot player. He gets caught on the crease a lot of times, and that has been an issue. Just a hint of movement is enough for Sanju Samson's undoing. Having said that, even Bharat said on sluggish wickets, which point I have already made earlier, that he struggles on sluggish tracks, on two pace tracks. Even if I keep aside all that, he just has to, if he's playing, he just have to survive those first 6 overs. If he does that, then Sanju Samson becomes your runaway match winner, because he's a very good player of spin. He knows how to tackle different kind of bowling when it comes to spinners. He definitely plays spin a lot far better. Like there are two players who are on the opposite sides of the spectrum. One is Tilak Verma, who plays fast bowling well, and one is Sanju Samson, who plays spin well. If you look at Tilak Verma's struggle, he struggles against spin. If you look at Sanju Samson, he struggles against pace. New ball, not against pace, I would say new ball. And yes, if it is 145 plus hard length, then also we have seen Sanju Samson struggling last year against England, same opposition at home. Jofra Archer, Saqib Mahmood, these bowlers were bouncing him out on small Indian wickets where ground dimensions are small at a 1 KD. So there is a certain weakness. There is a pattern in which Sanju Samson is getting out. But if Sanju Samson gets past through those first 6 overs, then he becomes very tough to stop. So there are two ways of looking at it. But again, who's coming in place of Sanju Samson? If Sanju Samson is playing, who is not playing, then it is Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. So given the way Vaibhav Sooryavanshi has performed, no Indian batter has scored more runs in white ball cricket in the last 2 months than Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. So he has performed everywhere across different conditions. So he comes with a merit, he comes with performances, and that's where you have to bring in. Yes, Sanju Samson has given you match-winning performances, but now when he has given you a couple of failures, now you can say, see, you failed twice. Similar way, it's the problem with your pattern, the way you are getting out. That's why you want to try a Vaibhav Sooryavanshi, and that's where you have to sit out somebody like a Sanju Samson.
Well, sir, one line, just for 1 minute.
Yes, Bharat.
I think it goes back to the same point, whatever his problems are against the moving ball or on two pace tracks, that if your back foot is somewhere leg lined or outside leg stump, what happens is you're not able to cover it off stump. That is why I think he's getting bowled. The other one is if your back foot is somewhere leg lined or outside leg stump, then the front foot won't go towards the pitch of the ball. So that is why I think he's getting stuck. But that is modern way of playing. So I don't want to comment much on it, because what happens is, I guess, for T20 batters, they're getting more access through the offside, and that is why a lot of these modern day batters have their back foot leg line or outside leg stump. I remember a YouTube video from the Waka test in 1990 when Chris Gaines was getting thrashed by Ian Chappell. That is his debut test, mind you. Poor guy was very nervy, must be very nervy, and Ian Chappell was criticizing him for his back foot being leg lined or outside leg stump. I don't know what Ian Chappell would be saying if he's watching some of these modern day batters having their back foot well outside the line of leg stump.
Yeah, it's going to be a interesting time ahead for everyone. I think. Srishti, who would you drop for Vaibhav Sooryavanshi in this 11?
For Vaibhav Suryavanshi, I'll also drop Sanju Samson. The reason being, see, it's a very simple reason. The Indian team management is a management, they always speak about things like we have to give young talent a chance and this that. The statement they gave about Sanju Samson, that 21 duck statement, I think everybody remembers about it. It's high time now. I respect him a lot. What he did in the World Cup, back to back 3 matches he scored runs and he made Team India win the World Cup. Immense respect, no doubts in that. But the issue is, the management only said once that हम चाहते हैं कि 15-20 innings दे, but हम कैसे दें. Then they also talk about that we have to groom new talent. Then if they are like lingering on Sanju Samson, like given his age, I'm not saying he's 40, but yeah, Vaibhav Suryavanshi will serve for a longer period of time. Sanju Samson is 30 plus, I guess, almost. So it's very important for the Indian team management to look forward. I'm not saying that, like you should just forget Sanju Samson, remove him from the scheme of things, nothing like that. But it is very much important for Vaibhav also to get groomed under the senior players, under the players like Sanju Samson, Abhishek Sharma. I don't think that they are going to drop Abhishek Sharma, because there is no reason behind dropping Abhishek Sharma. He scored a 50 against Ireland also in the first match. But Sanju Samson, he got a couple of failure. And if Vaibhav Suryavanshi comes in, he plays, I'm not saying all the games, at least 2 games out of the 5. He can get at least 2 games, I guess. So if he plays at least 2 games, and in the other 3 games, if we bring back Sanju Samson, I can guarantee, which I have seen the Sanju Samson pattern, if Sanju Samson gets back to the playing 11 again after the couple of games, he will do wonders. He has done that earlier also. In World Cup also, he was not in the playing 11 scheme of things. He was there in the, like, obviously he was there in the squad, but he was not in the playing 11 scheme of things. But when he stepped in, he did a great job again. So I think he is a player who is consistent for a few moments, and after that he just loses his consistency or what, I don't know. And then again, when he's brought back by the team Indian management, he does a great job. That's his
Mm,
pattern, which I have noticed since these years, since the time he
mm,
got his debut cap. So I really feel that Sanju Samson can sit out for 2 matches. You can bring him back, with all due respect to him, what he did in the World Cup and in the other series as well. You can bring him
mm.
back in the rest of the 3 matches. You can make him sit outside for at least 2 matches to give Vaibhav Suryavanshi a chance.
Interesting, interesting. And Bharat, let's talk slightly a bit about Varun Chakravarthy. Also, he returns to the fold. Do you see him playing the 11 straight away, or do you see him, the team management taking the Vaibhav Suryavanshi route with Varun Chakravarthy also, and not dropping the spinners who played in the last game?
Well, maybe perhaps they would be tad cautious with him. See,
Mm,
he has had his fitness issues, uh,
mm,
different kinds of injuries. So in that respect, maybe they would be tad cautious. Maybe he would be rested for a game or two. Perhaps it would be the first game, and then perhaps he would get into the playing 11. But yes, despite not having a good T20 World Cup, we saw that in the IPL. He seems to have worked. He seems to have got his rhythm back, at least to some extent. So I
mm,
don't think he's lost much of his mojo. Yes, the batters might be playing his googly better. Yes, he has a couple of googlies, but the batters have tended to play that better now in the recent past. But I don't think he's lost much of his mojo. So even if he misses a game or two, I don't think he would really worry. My perception is maybe they will gradually get him into the playing 11. He might miss out in the first game, and then he
mm.
might play a game or two.
Vaibhav, your take, Varun Chakravarthy straight in the playing 11 or not?
See, yesterday he bowled full tilt in the only practice session. So if he's bowling full tilt, if he's fit, because this T20I series also you rested him. Now, if you look at the performances of the spinners, only Akshar Patel performed. Washington Sundar in and out. Ravi Vishnu didn't get an opportunity, and Varun Chakravarthy is your trump card in this format. Varun Chakravarthy is your go-to spinner, and if he's fit, there is no reason why you should make him sit out. If he's fit, you should bring him straight into the playing 11 because you have spot as well. Washington Sundar played, then you dropped him, and then you brought in a Sooryavanshi again in that place. I think specialists should be back, and Varun Chakravarthy has been your match winner. So I think I see no reasons why Varun Chakravarthy is not playing. Yes, if there are any sort of concerns regarding his fitness still, then obviously team management will take a call closer to the match, closer to the toss. But what I heard yesterday is he bowled full tilt, and team management also don't want it to be a three back-to-back losses, hat trick of losses. So to avoid that, to start a series on a positive note, they will have to play their full strength team, which they believe can win. And I think that's the best opportunity. Also, you have to keep this in mind that Varun Chakravarthy's record against England is very good. England's record against spin, especially against wrist spinners, or you say mystery spin, has been pathetic. Yes, they improved. Some of them improved in the T20 World Cup. If you look at a Harry Brook, the way he played that innings in Sri Lanka, that 100 in T20 World Cup was outstanding. So he has certainly worked on his game against spin. But a lot of players still struggle against Varun Chakravarthy. They will struggle against Varun Chakravarthy. A lot of them struggle against spin. So considering that, I think Varun Chakravarthy should play today.
And Varun, if Varun goes well in the series, don't rule him out for future ODIs as well. He's well in the scheme of things as well. So I think, yeah, that's it for this show. We'll continue to give you all the coverage, practice footages, and other videos from Durham, from England. And stay tuned to Ref Sports for everything related to the world of sports. Thank you so much for watching, and keep tuning in.